All right, everyone. I'm here with a new beta release that just came out this morning to talk to you about some of the things that we can do now. So let's come over here real quick to the smart assessments rules. Before we had some issues with defining some rules and what they actually the result was going to be. So what we've done is we've added a few interesting questions in here. Some things that we have built are items like unsupported assets like compact. This might be something we make a universal rule so everybody can have access to it. And we also created some nice little, hey, if the manufacturers like Dell, or if their workstations older than a year, or Dell, all Dells, we have networking rules in here. And you can see that there's some really great things to talk about. What you really need to know is, like, you name the rule or the group, then you give it a project name. So this will be the resulting project that's created when rules are matched underneath this particular subsection. And then create a nice little description there for it. That way, when you see workstations older than a year, and the number of rules we have in there. Look, I've got one for 2024, one for 2019, and I can have multiple things. Like if it's a Mac that's older than 2018, if it's a PC that's older than 2020, you can add multiple rules in here. That way you can kind of create some variance in how you're assessing a client. So once this is all built, you should head over to a client and see how these rules work. So what I've got here is Acme Core, our favorite punching bag. And I'm going to come over and do the smart assessment, or the smart scores. So we're going to take the assessment, and you can see I've got a number of them in here already. If I want to go ahead and manage these, I can actually bring in some of the new rules I've created, such as, let's see here, if I got a new one over here, there would be an import button over here if there was. I can add a manual one just for this client. Okay, there would be a little button here that says import from the top level if there was something to bring in. Oh, there we go, import. And so what you want to be able to do is, once you've got these particular rules set for this client, what do you want to run? You can go back to the smart scores and you can run them individually by clicking on this. Show me all Dell PCs. Looks like everything's Dell right now. And you can click run assessment. So I'm going to run everything we got. See what comes up. Oh, looks like we've got some firewalls. We got one firewall that's that's not following our best practice of FortiGates. And we got 5 servers not following under best practices for this. So once we say it's okay, if you don't want to include one of these on our proposal, just uncheck it, but click save. And it's going to create a proposal here. We see it's $34,000 for the server migration project, and it's $4,000 for the firewall migration. So we can go ahead and say, if we want to call smart assessment. And then any notes, these were derived from all of our smart stuff. And we click save. We now have a proposal that we can send to our clients to get e-approval. And your client can then see, oh my gosh, these are things that we need to do. Let's go ahead and get them in budget for next year. Or they can ask questions. You can also see, now it's going to be a little dirty because this is my test environment. You can also see that, hey, we've got a bunch of new projects on the bottom here. Here's that test project for firewalls. Or I think that was the right one. Nope, here it is. This test project. You can see which ones are going to be replaced, which ones are out of date, where are they going, when are the costs going to come up. And one of the things we're running into a bug right now is we don't have the description being filled out. So it should copy the description and the deliverables from your master template. And for some reason, that's not happening right now. It's on the bug list, so please ignore the fact that that's not there. Click save, and then you can go ahead and move from here. What you want to be able to do is go up here and you want to spend your time in the smart assessments building rules that are going to be the de facto definition for what is your stack for every client. This way you don't miss any rules. You don't miss any projects that are on a table. If a link just happens to be popping up and coming into your PSA, this rule will catch it and say, hey, look, you need to migrate that to a what? And you've created a rule for that. That way your account managers don't need to be engineers. The backend's going to assess it for them. So please play around with this. We're still in the beta. You still need to go to test.managedservicesplatform.com and access this, which will be in the link below. So I really want you guys to check this out. Give me feedback. See if you can find something that I haven't already. And I think the only other thing that we can't do right now that I'm trying to bug people on is there's no way to delete. There's no trash can next to these. So we're working out the logic on that. Does it delete from here and in all client assessments that are tied to that? Or does it just delete from here and then you have to manually delete them all in the back end? Right now we're leaning to delete here and any child objects. Give us some feedback and I look forward to it. Thank you so much for all your feedback. So far, it's been incredibly helpful.